This time on Whatever We Want, we talk about
Loki, episode 3! Lamentis, yeah. Well, first off, spoilers.
Yeah, big spoils.
We talk about everything from how Loki and Sylvie are going to get off the planet, how we think they're getting off the planet. Does Loki possibly have the time stone? And Lamentis comic references, all that and more. Stay tuned. Enjoy!
Whoop!
PreBanter, peanut butter. Daniel, how are you doing, my friend?
You're getting so much closer to almost having it to where you were the first time, where you like just sped through it. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Today's been a lot. Today's been a good day. It's my first day working at new job. You know,
nice,
being a
Daniel.
recovery clerk at PJ. They didn't have me in the system.
Really? You're off the grid.
Yeah, they had my practically. They gave me my employee number.
Okay.
So I was like able to punch in and punch out, right? But like I wasn't able to do any of the computer training, which is what I was supposed to be doing like all day today.
Yeah, you texted. You're like, I got home, I can record. I was like, I thought you were supposed to be there like all day today.
I was supposed to be there like all day today, but like, I don't know. So I just wasn't showing up in the system. So they were like, you know what? We'll just have you out on the floor. So I was literally just doing my job, like training under. I was shadowing.
Nice.
That's the job's so simple.
Just jump in and do it. Yeah.
The job was so simple. Like he literally like after like 20 minutes was like, okay, go do it. And I was just doing it. So
nice. All right. Well, before we jump into it, I just want to say quick shout out to everyone supporting us on TikTok again. We get highlight clips there every other day or so, something like that. And got a lot of support, so thank you. Also, we've got the Patreon up, and we've had a lot of support there recently, so thank you for that. I recently uploaded an uncut version of the video podcast. Again, a reminder, we have a video podcast. Yeah, so all that. Check that stuff out. Links are in the description. Are you ready for the introduction, my friend?
Yes, hit me with it.
You may want us to talk about this or that, but we don't care. We're going to talk about whatever we want. Welcome back to Whatever We Want, the podcast where we, Jake and Daniel, two devilishly handsome gentlemen, talk about movies, TV shows, giving behind-the-scenes insights, trivia, filmmaking techniques, all that jazz, and more. What are we talking about this week, Daniel?
We're talking about Loki, episode 3.
Before we get into it, I just want to say I practiced that in the shower and I still messed it up. I just worked out and I showered and I was like, just going through it in my head. I was like, I can't mess this up. And I did. So, oh well, here we are. Yeah, episode 3, Lamentis. What'd you think overall of it? Let's just jump in.
It was beautiful.
Visually,
like,
it was
like,
stunning.
Like visually, like color grade wise and just everything, it was amazing. Yeah. Especially like the last shot, like that one long. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, it was beautiful. But
the
also
long
just
take,
story-wise,
yeah, I have some stuff about that.
But also the the character development and seeing how the Lokis, which now we can clearly define the difference now.
Loki and Sylvie, right?
Yeah. How they are developing together in a way now, which is kind of weird to see, but it's also cool.
I personally didn't like this one as much as episodes 1 and 2. Like, I think I had, like, you can't just be constant, nonstop action. Like, this, probably in the grand scheme of things, once everything comes out, it will be a nice kind of pace change in the middle, I guess. I was kind of just like, this kind of felt not like a filler episode, but I wish like more happened just because the first 2 were so good. But overall, I'm not like disappointed or anything. Like, I know.
I'm not disappointed at all.
We had to theorize like how they're gonna
like,
escape and what's gonna happen and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah.
There is a theory that like this is all like an illusion. Like, you know, when the enchantress, like Sylvie touches his like neck or whatever, and like it kind of fizzles out, and he's like, "Oh, my brain's too strong," or whatever. I saw a theory that it's like, what if that wasn't an illusion and like she actually got control of him? And she even said like stronger minds, she's there, but she has to kind of like guide them through it. Like she's not in full control kind of thing. Like maybe that's what's happening with Loki. Like she's kind of guiding him. She is kind of semi manipulating him with that like touch that she did at the beginning. And all this is just to get information out of him that she needs or something like that. I don't know. Could be something. I don't know.
I feel like that definitely could be a way that this could go. With where it's at, though, I don't know how it developed. Because, like, that way she need to get something from him, right? So
yeah.
It's like, I don't know what she'd be trying to get from him.
But, like, could she just be trying to manipulate him to get the gadget thing, that get the door opener? I forget what it's called. But I also thought, like, could Loki be double-crossing and, like, the thing's not actually broken.
Actually
It's just
broken?
like an illusion
That's what I
that
was
he
thinking.
did. Yeah. So that's another thing I thought of possibly. Also, there's some big reveals in this episode I think we should talk about. Like, for example, like the TVA agents, or TV agents as I've been calling them. They're actually like plucked from the timeline,
They're
which
all
we kind of
variants.
predicted.
Yeah,
We kind of
yeah.
predicted that with Mobius. I thought that was kind of cool. So was Mobius from the 90s, and like that's why he's like obsessed with like jet skis kind of thing. We learned that like
I
the
feel
other
like-
girl.
I feel like that's definitely what it's going to be.
Yeah.
For him,
I
yeah.
I said I want, so like at the end, you know how like Loki and Sylvie are like stranded on the planet. I think that how it's gonna end is like how they're gonna escape next episode is Mobius is gonna come flying in on a space jet ski and save them and save the day. That's gonna be how it comes.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I could totally see that happening.
And he goes, "Wow!" I actually saw it in an interview, or I heard it in an interview that like it was confirmed that Owen Wilson does not say "wow" in the series, and I was like, "Dang,
Darn!
missed opportunity, Marvel." Maybe they're just like waiting that for a reveal. That's like a Paul Bettany like
There's a
reveal that's coming
variant
at the end.
Of this variant
Yeah,
of him, where he does
exactly.
say it. Okay,
Yeah.
we just need to get to that point. We're just
Okay.
not there yet.
We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting though that the TV agents were like plucked from the timeline. Do you
People
think
yeah.
Do you think like Sylvie and Loki could use that to their advantage somehow to get them to turn on the timekeepers?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, another thing that we also have to think about, which we've been questioning before, is are the timekeepers even real? Like,
Yeah, true.
I feel like she believes they are because she was dead set on her mission to like
True.
go up there and do whatever she was going to do. But that could be something like where it's like with Rick and Morty where he changed the currency from like the value to 1 to 0 and he like made the whole space economy collapse. It could be
Okay.
something like that, but with time. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Or it could actually be 3 dudes where she just slit their throats. I don't know. She seems like a pretty violent person, so I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah. So also just like going back to the beginning of the episode, I feel like our theory that like Lady Loki was letting, or like Sylvie was holding the door open for Loki to get through, I guess that wasn't really true if because like she seemed very upset like when he followed her through that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but maybe, I don't know. It could be like the whole like she's enchanting him. Could be all part of the plan. I don't know.
Also, I'm not sure if you were going to bring this up, but the mailman.
Stan Lee? Is that what you were
is this
thinking?
No, I was thinking like the mailman from WandaVision as like a joke. Like he
Oh,
plucked
I was
out of
thinking.
reality.
I was thinking the
and
mailman. Like, well, Stan Lee played the FedEx man, and he also played the like doorman mailman from Fantastic Four,
That
like
is true.
the original Fantastic Four. So I was like, that could be some, because like she like kind of brushes
What
it
if-
off about like that she's had like this long distance relationship with like a postman, but like could that be like why she's doing this? Is like the timekeepers like in their sacred timeline made it so that her lover like died, and like she can't reverse that, and so she has to like break the sacred timeline so she can go back and live her days with her like lover or something like that. Like that could be motivation for her to want to do this.
That was a good point. I didn't think to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what do you think? What do you know about like Lamentis, the place? Do you know anything about that from the comics?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know that much about it.
I don't know much, but I saw that it's like on the edge of Kree space. The Kree were the like Ronin's people, the blue people.
Well, technically, also people on Xandar, but those are different types of.
Right.
But yeah.
So it's like on the edge of Kree space, and that's about as much as I know about it. Yeah, but visually it was stunning. Like the purple grade and the visual effects were incredible. I think it's so cool, just like how far we've come.
I was
going to
say that.
shows.
Like
Like this is a freaking
like
TV
just the
show.
quality of it is
Yeah. Yeah.
it's blowing my mind just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It also is blowing my mind. The explosion.
True. Yeah. So once they get trapped there, there's also sorry. Back to the theory about like Sylvie like enchanting Loki. There's like parallels to like when at the very beginning when we see her enchanting the TVA agent, like in that like cocktail place. The shot is set up almost identically to how the shot of Loki and
What's
her
up
on the
with
train
them
are.
on train?
Also, what's
Yeah.
up with Loki not being able to ride backwards on a train? Like, why? Like, will that come back later? Like, that just seemed like such an odd detail to to throw in. Like when he first sat down, she was like, it was like,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
don't. I was
sit on
trying
a
to think of
train.
like Ragnarok or something like that, but technically this is 2012 Loki still. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he has trauma where he was like, I can't do trains backwards.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought that was interesting because I also can't really ride on trains backwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So, I just kind of get motion sick sometimes, especially like in like cars. I think trains would honestly be all right, but I don't know. Back to the tank. So, yeah, we also learned that her plan was years in the making. So that leads to the theory again about like, could this mailman or postman be someone that like she's been trying to get back for a while now? So when they are on the train here, Sylvie asks a lot about like Loki's mother. And do you think like she's just trying to get like information out of him? Like it feels like she was kind of caring for a minute there. Like it was just felt not a little out of character, but like it could be she's trying to get that tactical advantage, which she talks about later.
Here's the thing. They both know that they're both conniving, lying, backstabbing people.
Yes. They literally have knives.
Yeah, they do. That said, it is very rare to find somebody that they can trust.
They're conniving,
So,
backstabbing people together.
when they find that they have something that they can relate to any degree that they're technically variants of each other and that
Yeah.
they have something related there,
True.
there's the smallest element of trust that they're able to go from there, and that was visible throughout those scenes on the train.
Okay.
That's what it seems out of character, but at the same time I feel like it's perfectly in character because I mean we saw in Thor Ragnarok with Loki. At
Yeah.
that time he was still still conniving, backstabbing, but after the elevator scene with Thor where he like opened up,
That was
to him,
such a
he was
cool
honest.
scene. Like so simple, just an elevator, but like so much story came out in there and character
Yeah.
development.
And after Loki then tried to backstab him again, but Thor knew it.
Yeah.
It kind of made Loki realize, like, hey, I don't have to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
I can be trusting to a degree, and I feel like our Loki again is now at that point
Gotcha.
to where he's trying to open up a little bit more.
It's also confirmed here in this train scene that Loki's like bisexual. The creator tweeted something that like that was like one of her goals in this Loki series to like confirm that like Loki is bisexual. And I think even in the like in mythology, like he's done like all sorts of stuff. Like he gave birth to like an 8-legged horse, which like Odin rides. So
Like,
yeah.
hey, he's got game.
Yeah, I guess so. There's another parallel. I like the parallel to Thor 1 when he takes the glass. It's like, another! And
Yeah, dude, that was
throws
great.
the glass down. That was funny.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like when he did that, I lost it. It was like late at night because I watched it like right as it came out. I'm like, oh man, I can't get too loud because like people were sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. But then the plan changes because the like gadget thing was destroyed.
Broken.
And they have to go to the Ark now to get off the planet. So I thought that was like a nice little like act change, like going from Act 2 to Act 3. Little storytelling thing for you there.
And this is, remember what I said last time about how if there's a catastrophe, you could still get another timeline.
Yeah.
If somebody was saved.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
I called it. I straight up called it. I'm like, well, they wouldn't
But
want to do that.
how do you think they're gonna get off now? Like, do you think they're gonna somehow save someone or? Also, well, I feel like Loki's possibly more powerful than we thought. Like when he like reversed
He
that
stopped
building.
that one building.
But there's a theory.
Yeah.
I saw another theory that when he opened the drawer of Infinity Stones, he could have grabbed pocketed a time stone, and that's why we wouldn't if the time stone's green, so we wouldn't have thought anything of it. Like he's blasting green at people. That could be the time stone he's using, and we just don't know because he's green, and that could be why he reversed time and put the building back up or something. So that's a possibility. Like he pocketed a time stone out of Casey's drawer from episode 1.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how he did that. That's a big thing there.
Yeah.
He was doing normal stuff. Relative again, he was doing kicks now, those green effects, which we've never really seen before. But little Loki farts, I guess.
Yep.
But
Loki queefs.
yeah, as soon as
Low queefs.
the building fell down, the whole power level, I got it. Like
He just went like, and then he just like went back up, and I was like, he was like, yeah, what? What do you? He was so calm about it. He's like, I got it. I was like, what? Since when? Move buildings with your mind.
If it's not like the time stone or like any of the Infinity Stones, it could be something related to like his molecular. You know how you talk about how he makes dupes before,
Or like the gravity on that planet or something like that.
it could be something like that too. You know.
But also, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, speaking, that's in the middle of the one take. That's honestly, like, thinking about just production and stuff, that was probably the last shot delivered on that episode. And it was probably, I mean, it was really expensive. Because it's tough to, like, track visual effects, like, through all of that. But I did notice in, like, secret cuts, like
when they jump in and out of the building.
Yeah, and they jump in and out of the building. That was the obvious one I noticed first. And then there was one where, like, someone, like, runs across the frame. That I think, and there was one when like Loki gets blasted on the ground and smoke fills the screen. That was, I think, another cut. But just like little tricks like that. It didn't like take me out of it. I just like
not at all.
I like trying to like look for that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was really cool. That oneer just going through the town right before the arc like explodes. Yeah.
So here's what I think is going to happen. I feel like we might, because this episode started off with Sylvie. So
yeah,
I feel like next episode might start off with Mobius.
Oh, I mean,
and then we get his perspective of what's been going on while they're on.
I mean, actually, that wouldn't stink, but like, I want to see what's happening next, not like what's also happening at the same time. But like, I could see that, like,
you know what I mean? I feel like pace wise, like Yak would kind of cut things off a little bit, but
I think that could be interesting. It's cool it's gonna be him. Like, it's gonna be him ordering the space jet ski so he can go save them. That's what he's gonna be doing in this episode. Just going through that catalog, like this one, but in orange and dull gray to match the TVA.
that was a rhyme too. An orange dull gray match the TVA.
Yeah, that was so intentional.
But you gotta think of it like this too, right? Like, I guess we're getting to the point where we're talking about what we think is going to be happening in the next episode. But
yeah.
One, there's an attempt on the Time Masters. So if they are real and authoritative, then they're going to be like, hey, figure out the source, figure out who did this. We need to hunt them down and kill it from the source. Secondly, if you think of it from the TVA point of view, they know that all these anomalies are happening now. Like, they see that the timeline is being broken up on several different sections.
Yeah.
Right? As we saw in that one diagram. But they don't know what's going on. They don't know technically what caused it other than that event with Sylvie, which Mobius would then have to update everybody on, whatever, whatever Mobius' team is. So pretty much their goal at that point is going to be, hey, we need to hunt down the Lokis, you know?
Yeah. What would their like team name be? Just the Lokis? Le Lokis.
Living la vida Loki.
What would Mobius's team name be? Like the Mobius Matrol.
Strips.
I need the Mobius strips. All right. It sounds like a stripper like group.
Club? Yeah.
A group of like prostitutes or something. Led by Owen Wilson in like 90s gear. Wow. Okay. Back to Tank.
But yeah, so I think that might be where the Lokis get saved. Is from them being hunted down and figured out again. The problem is, how would you find them?
Yeah, because maybe they're just going through apocalypse. Because, like, they know the apocalypses are, like, where they can hide, so maybe they're going through apocalypses. But also, I don't know if that's their priority right now to find the Lokis, or if they're just trying to, like, quickly contain the timeline explosions kind of thing.
That's the thing. It could be both, but it's...
I wonder...
If they're spread too thinly, think of it like this. You want to kill it at the source. Or at least that's probably the most logical thing to do, whether you have an infinite amount of time or not. Which, at this point, is still technically relative, because when you're dealing with separating of timelines... Yeah,
you have to go back, you have to nip it at the source.
Well, yeah, but the growing of that new timeline is based off of the relative time of the TVA.
Yeah. So like I wonder how long it will take the TVA to get everything back to normal, if they can even. Like I wonder if Sylvie planned like I need to have this many bombs and this many explosions to spread the TVA so thin that they can't even like contain it, so that I can then go in and kill the timekeepers. Like I wonder if she would escape like at the beginning of next episode, if she will have enough time to go and like try to accomplish her mission of killing the timekeepers, or if like it's been too long, because it's been like 12 hours since, like they said, like 12 hours the planet will like blow up, so it's almost been 12 hours. So like I don't know how long they need.
But we also don't know how long that is relative time for Mobius.
True.
That's nothing to keep in mind, because they're working on a different time scale.
The Mobius strips
for Mobius,
work on their own time.
For Mobius, that could have been 1 minute. For Mobius, that could be 10 days from now.
True. So I think there's some possibilities. I wrote down some possibilities for how they could escape next time. So like we said, Loki could have faked / magic to the gadget to like look like it was broken to get information out of Sylvie, so it could not actually be broken. They could just leave. Sylvie could just be enchanting, like we said. Mobius could come riding in on his space jet ski. Loki could have if he does have the time stone, he could just keep reversing time until they figure out a way to get off or something like that. Or if he grabbed the Tesseract somehow, he could just teleport away.
True.
Or they could die, and the last few episodes were just a joke. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but that's what I got.
I'm trying to think what else they could possibly do.
Let's get creative.
I mean, they could just find another ship, but I don't know how they would do that if the
Ark.
The ship called? The Ark was
the Ark
like
of the Covenant
thing, you know?
Yeah. Maybe they could just take that gun that lady shot them with and just like use that like to propulse down, like rocket jump off the planet or something.
They could try that. What if another ship came in?
Ooh.
The Guardians come in, but it's not the Guardians.
As Guardians of the Galaxy come in.
That'd be so funny if it was the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Well, it's 2077.
2077.
So like, what? Maybe it's like
I feel like
old.
we still have 4.
It's like young Spider-Man 2099 or something. I don't know. Miguel O'Hara. I don't know.
I feel like he would just be like just born or something at that time.
Probably. Baby Miguel
Also,
O'Hara.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves comes in and
Maybe
saves
Keanu
the
Reeves.
day.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been talks
Keanu
for him to
Reeves
join the
comes in.
MCU. Keanu Reeves, Owen Wilson team up. The team up we didn't think we needed.
But we totally do. Yeah.
Dang. I was kind of sad that Owen Wilson wasn't in this one. I missed seeing him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really excited for the next couple episodes. It's supposed to get real, get intense. Yeah, I'm liking this series a lot so far. Are you ready for patron shout-outs?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Cue the Star Wars music. Boosh, we've got patron Lori, Frank, Rick, Evan, Tony, Lisa. Thanks so much for listening to the tier. Thank you to the shout-out. If you want to support us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. You get special perks like episodes early, sometimes uncut podcasts. I send you cool messages. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Also, if you would like, you could head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave a review. We really appreciate it. It's obviously not required or expected, but
any feedback helps.
We like it. Yeah. I'm currently checking to see if we have any new ones. We do not, which is totally fine. Anyways, you ready for the introduction?
Yes. Tell me when.
When?
We just talked about what we wanted to talk about, and now we're done.
Thanks so much for everyone for listening. We really, really, really appreciate it. Hope you have a good one. See you next time for Loki episode 4. Goodbye.
Yeet. Peace.